Covering music-related content of all genres. If it filters through Eastern Texas, it's fair game. Y'all bring it. From Texarkana down to the coast and Dallas down to Houston and everything in between. We are ETX ROCKS!
Hit the brakes!
Cut! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a brand new episode of the ETX ROCKS Show with yours truly, Boston Chris. It is Sunday at the Red House here in Hallsville. It is really, really cold outside, and it's not quite warmed up all the way here inside the Red House yet. So, I want to apologize to our guests because it's a little bit chilly, but they're still out here. Look, I'm a huge fan of the girls we have here today for the ETX ROCKS Show. I've been following them for over a year. I'm a huge Bluegrass fan anyway. And for East Texas, in my opinion, these guys are probably the most popular band in the Bluegrass genre here in East Texas. They're known as Katy and Penny Clark. They're twin sisters from Kilgore, Texas. And they're also a 2016 finalist for Bluegrass of the Band at the 2016 East Texas Music Awards. They've played all over the world, including Europe. And I mean, they have a unique sound that blends bluegrass with a definite Texas swing edge. But what makes them stand out the most, at least to me, is their honey sweet harmonies. They have written songs for Nashville's largest publishing company, which is called Sony Tree. And it's a pleasure and honor to introduce you guys to the Purple Holes. Ladies, welcome to the ETX ROCKS Show. So how are you guys doing today, other than a little bit chilly?
Yeah, it's great. My hands are, thawing out right now. So by the time we play, we hope they'll be good and ready.
So you guys are going to play for us today.
That's right, yeah.
That's awesome. So we were talking a little bit before we started recording about what you guys were going to play. And you guys were excited that we weren't making you play something that, you'd have to go really like
exactly.
Steroids, bluegrass. So tell us what you're going to play for us.
Well, I guess this first song we're going to do is one that a good friend of ours wrote, Mr. Joe Carr, who passed away recently, but he was one of our teachers out in Levelland when we went to college at South Plains. So it's kind of a humorous song that talks a lot about the weather of Texas now. We've gotten a taste of that recently, like
80 to 20.
Yeah, exactly. Radical changes.
So I thought this would be very relevant considering how cold it is right now
right.
and how warm it was yesterday.
Yeah, for sure.
So what's the song called?
This is called Welcome to West Texas. Yes, Welcome to West Texas. Here we go. Welcome to West Texas. There's music in the air. Dust and clouds and tomato or two. No telling what's up there. Well, the wind outside is howling. Coyotes crying fear. Welcome to West Texas. You're gonna like it here. Wake up in a dust storm. At noon it starts to rain. The front books through at 2:15 at 3. It's sunny again. The wind picks up.
All right, we will be right back with more from the Purple Holes right after this commercial break.
Hello, everybody. This is Rio Wallace, and I am inviting you all to come out to the store Everything That Blings whenever you get the chance, which should be very, very soon if you have not already stopped by. So yes, the discounts are still here. The fashion is still here. The exquisite jewelry, exquisitely priced. Whatever word my Spanish teacher tried to tell me. Anyway, so come on out. We are here from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday to Friday, and open 10 to 6 every Saturday. So come on out and we will joyously craft you with an outfit that will be outstanding.
All right, so we are back with the Purple Holes here at the Red House in Hallsville. First, I want to thank Eric and Darla Greer once again for letting us use their property out here in the Red House, our little man cave kind of place out here in the backyard. It's not exactly a shed, it is, but really not, because there's some really cool stuff out here. It's a lot of fun. It's kind of, comfortable atmosphere to just have a conversation. And that's what we're going to do today. And I'm super psyched because I'm a huge fan of you guys. I have been for a while. The first time I got to see y'all live was in your hometown of Kilgore under the derricks this past summer when it was like 160 degrees. And you guys are just super sweet, amazing musicians. How old are you guys?
We're 30. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
But you guys have been performing for how long?
Well, that's a good question. We started to learn how to actually perform or play instruments with strings and sing at the same time
Right.
in college. So that was about 18. But we've been playing piano and singing together, for a while since we were little.
And so, you guys are known as the Purple Holes. So I know you guys grew up on a farm. So that has to be where that came from, right?
Exactly. It kind of takes us back to our roots a little bit
Right.
because we grew up raising purple hull peas, which in East Texas is pretty well known. But you kind of get out of this area and you start talking about purple hull peas, and it goes over people's heads. So most of the time we spend some of the show explaining purple hulls, and what they are and how much better they are than black-eyed peas.
So how long would you guys say it took Google to recognize, like when you type in purple holes? How long do you think it was before you guys came up before the actual vegetable?
That's a good question. We were trying to come up with a name that would, Google search engine would, we would show up on at least towards the top of the list, and so no one else had taken that name.
So it's basically you type in purple holes and it's recipes and bluegrass,
Yes. We're the only music relation.
Right. So I know you guys give a lot of credit for your success to your upbringing. Tell us what it was like growing up on a farm, and maybe some of the day-to-day experiences people that haven't grown up on a farm that you guys had.
Yeah. Well, I guess growing up on a farm, there was never a moment where there was nothing that needed to be done.
Right.
And so, although we had plenty of rest, Dad was always, "What can you girls go out there and do this, or this needs to be done, this needs to be done." So I think work ethic is one thing we learned growing up, and getting a job done quickly. And so a little bit of hustle in your step. If we didn't have a hustle in our step, I think we, as we learned how to play music and instruments, we brought that with us in college, just trying to work hard at what we were doing, because we knew we didn't have that much time at South Plains College, but we were under such good instruction and around a lot of great
And you guys
teachers.
went to the same college together?
Mm-hmm. We did.
Oh, so you guys have legitimately done everything step by step together.
Yeah, you could probably say that, yeah.
And if you guys didn't know out there, they're twins.
Yeah.
You
Same DNA, identical.
So, identical twins, And so when you guys are growing up on the farm and you decide that, music is something you're really attracted to, did you guys have any kind of strategy I'm going to learn this instrument and I'll learn this one? And
Man.
You know what I mean?
It just all plays out by, it's just the Lord's hand in it all. But when we first went to college, I was the banjo picker and she was the mandolin picker, and that switched somewhere throughout it all. And it was just, a matter of who practiced what more and who was better, kind of thing. We both went out there to South Plains College originally to play basketball, of all things. And so
I can see that.
That's originally what attracted us. I think maybe the most is how good their program was. And then we also knew that they had a music program, even though we weren't really that serious about
we're not going to make this our career or anything. We just want to go learn some banjo on the side. But it's funny how things change. Yeah.
I just think it's funny because, I mean, we've talked to other bands that were families, and you know, they would grow up, well, I'll play drums if you'll play bass, and well, Brother Jimmy will play, you know, guitar, and then we'll have a band. So, I mean, you guys have kind of like traded the instruments back and forth.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool too.
Way, yeah.
Do you think that makes you more versatile musicians too along the way?
I'd say so. We both, believe it or not, picked up a guitar way after we did any other instrument, which I was never really interested in guitar. Now I'd say it's probably maybe my favorite to play because it's such a versatile instrument. But yeah, I'd say it probably does help us switch off. We do a lot of that in shows, and it makes it interesting and fun. Yeah.
I mean, anyone out there who listens to the Purple Holes in their music will also tell you that your faith is very important, not only to you both, but also to your sound, I think. I know many artists give credit to God for their talent, but what role does faith play in y'all's lives and career?
Well, you know, I'd say, well, the reason why we write the songs that we write, a lot of them, some we write, you know, are gospel and some aren't, but nevertheless, whatever song it is, we're aiming to glorify God through the process, and we know that the Lord is ultimately, He's just sovereign over it all, and we credit Him for any kind of success we could have, you know, in this thing we call the music biz. But yeah,
I think it takes the pressure off.
It does, yeah.
Pressure off of us, and for us just to develop what the Lord's given us and let Him do the work with what, you know, with our efforts, and so it takes the pressure off of, you know, falling short of any big dream or anything, because we're having fun and you know, letting the Lord do the puppet show.
and I know also my dad, who we'll mention a little bit too in the show in a minute, but he also grew up on a farm like you guys did, and I know that farmers in that life also, there's a lot of hand in hand with God. You know, it's like they're praying for the crop, they're praying for the rain, and all of that stuff. So with the farm and that life and the pressure of that life, I know it's really intense. There's a lot of religion that goes into that. So was that kind of like trickled down to y'all? Is it like, okay, so we're farmers' daughters basically, but now we're musicians, and does it kind of transfer over, come along with you?
I mean, it's true. Faith and farming definitely go hand in hand, because there's always the issue with the weather. It can change in a dime, you know, and it could change your whole year, you know, as far as income goes. But, you know, we were more of hobby farmers. So it wasn't our livelihood growing the crop. That would be fun maybe one day when I'm not traveling, and, you know.
Well, as far as it trickling down, I think growing up in a home where both parents are believers, I'm really thankful for those roots and the upbringing, and I definitely think it's just by the Lord's grace that we actually got to grow up in a Christian home.
Right.
So.
And I mean, you know, you just mentioned the traveling, and it's very difficult as a fan of y'all's, and especially in East Texas. You guys are, you know, living in Kilgore, from Kilgore, but you play very little here. It's unfortunate for us that love y'all in East Texas, because you guys are so busy touring all over the place. I mentioned Europe earlier as well. So, I mean, what is it like to just hit the road and you're gone for months at a time?
It's the best of both worlds right now, getting to live at home on the farm. I know this is maybe just a season, so we're trying to kind of live it up. But we've just really enjoyed the road life, because we love traveling, and I think the best thing about the road is the people, meeting all the variety of folks across the world, and that's been a huge thing to take home and be really thankful for when we're out on the road. So.
And what are some of your favorite places that you've played over the years?
Goodness. Wow, we've played in bands with friends, and we've played on our own places, so we've lots of different kinds of venues. So some of the neatest, I would say, would probably be the Grand Ole Opry, and then at the Ryman, and we really enjoyed going to Finland. We've been there a couple times and are heading back in a couple months, and that's been.
Did they ask you to yodel out there?
Yeah.
We should. We need to hone up our yodeling skills.
I love
That's
yodeling.
more like Switzerland. We've played in Switzerland as well.
Oh, nice.
They do lots of yodeling out there.
Europe loves acoustic music, just raw, you know, kind of in your face acoustic.
And bluegrass is huge in Europe.
Yeah, it's getting bigger.
Yeah. Would you say it's bigger over there than it is here in the States?
I wouldn't say, although there are some bands that can make it better over there than they could over here.
Right.
So, there's definitely a place for bluegrass musicians to, over there and just spend a few weeks and
yeah, that's awesome.
Get a following out there.
So, we mentioned my father-in-law being a huge fan of y'all's. His name is Red Leone, and you guys might not know, he's been a musician for nearly 70 years.
Wow.
He's been playing pedal steel guitar for 68 years. And like I said, he's a huge fan of yours, as well as friends of yours, the Quabies. So, what does it mean to the Purple Holes to have that huge, loyal fan base?
Oh, it's pretty special. I'm like, really? You love us that much? It's very special and endearing, I think, to have people that really enjoy our music, and it makes me happy to know that what we do is something that somebody enjoys and that somebody gets enjoyment out of.
Yeah, and I try not to take that for granted, for sure.
And it's going to be hard.
It's kind of a constant reminder that we have to do to each other sometimes, like the kind of the impact that our music can have. But it's kind of, it doesn't grow old for sure. Just meeting people from all over and mostly just making friends with those folks. Not it going beyond just like I'm singing from a stage and then we get to say hi and bye, but we love hanging out with people afterwards and then having reason to go stop by maybe their home on the way through to another place, in the future. So.
And he's a Texas swing pedal steel player. He's been playing forever. And anytime y'all or the Quabies or anywhere in Texas, he's just packing up the car and he's on the way. He's seen y'all in Kilgore. He's seen the Quabies in Houston, and so it's like And I remember he met the Quabies in Houston. I forget the name of the venue, but they were kind enough to take pictures with him, and he's like, I'm not washing my face for like, And this is stuff that I said when I was like a teenager, if I met somebody, and here he is 80 years old, and he's that excited about y'all and the Quabies.
He's so cute.
So I know bluegrass and Texas swing music have had their ups and downs over the years in terms of mainstream popularity, which is really unfortunate, especially to me as a fan. How difficult do y'all find it to stay relevant and true to yourselves and your music in a genre that sometimes is not considered so mainstream?
Yeah. Sometimes listening to the radio can be encouraging and discouraging at the same time, because that you'll never make it onto those mainstream channels or stations with the kind of music that we play. But then again, that's not really our goal.
Right.
So but it's also encouraging to see all of the other bands that are coming up, the independent artists that are doing things that just writing music that they want to write and putting their own spin on it and not necessarily caring about it being commercial or dumbed down to the typical audience. So, we just try to stay true to our desires of what we want to write, and
then we're like when a lot of people like it and we're like, yay, good.
Wow,
well,
okay, we'll take
we'll try to do something like that again.
Right.
We'll take what we did with this song that a lot of people seem to really appreciate and try to roll it over into another song. So we do kind of adapt, I think, to try to make things enjoyable by a lot of people, but it doesn't change maybe a huge part of how we write or what we play or production or things.
I think that's a good way of going about it too. It's like, if you're sitting down and you're writing something just because maybe it's worked before for your fan base or because it's pleasing to you or pleasing to God or whatever, I think that's a good place to be, rather than trying to be an artist that's just writing for what's happening or is more marketable at a certain point in time. Because what's marketable now might not be in 2 years. But it's frustrating for someone like me who is a fan of bluegrass and swing music, where like someone like Alison Krauss comes along in the late 80s and just explodes, then she's gone. And then a couple years go by and someone else comes and they're big for a while. It's like, why can't this stay? Why can't it just be? Let it be. You know what I mean? It's just frustrating as a fan. So I wanted to get your take on it as an artist within that genre. So something absolutely great to me about the Purple Holes is the blend of several styles that y'all put together in your music. from bluegrass and Texas swing, which we mentioned, but also, you know, touches of gospel, traditional country, and I mean, there's even some blues influences shining through there, you know, from here time and time. So when you all sit down to write a song, do you tend to lean on a certain influence in your writing, or does it just come naturally?
You know, I think you can't help but it be influenced by things that you've listened to lots in the past. You know, whether or not we can identify it. Like, you could listen to a song, you know, just a couple times and then realize that you're being influenced by that somehow, like, weeks later when trying to write. It's really kind of crazy. Yeah, we kind of feed off each other quite a bit, actually. You know, when we write together, we're like, hey, do you like this? You know, I think that's typical for co-writes. We write alone as well. But yeah, sometimes it's just even down to like, what's fun to play? You know,
Yeah.
I mean, whatever style comes out is like, what do we enjoy just playing? Or maybe another song is geared more toward lyric, or, you know, or...
And that definitely brings me to my next question. I mean, do you hear, when you're sitting down to write a song, do you hear certain instrumental parts in your songs during the lyrical write, or does that come later?
Sometimes it all comes probably, you know, all at once, I would say. For me, I know it's different for people because I'm not as much of a lyricist as I would hope to be maybe one day in the future.
Well, who came up with the UFO up there line? That's what I want to know.
That song was actually written by Joe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, he's got all those. Yeah, it's full of it.
Y'all should write a Welcome to East Texas parody.
Yeah, we're working on plan on that.
Are you really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
You might want to help us with that.
I might could give you some ideas, maybe.
For sure.
And do you guys find it easier to write about your own personal experiences in life, or is it easier to write about the experiences of others?
I'd say so. Yeah, for sure. I'd say it's easier to write about like our own experience. Yeah, the next song that we'll do about our dad.
That's why I was asking.
Yeah,
because,
it just flowed out, I would say.
Because I mean, I've heard from other songwriters that sometimes there can be a disconnect while trying to write about something that's so close to yourself. So a lot of songwriters will see something that a friend or a family member is going through, and it just flows out. But if they're trying to write about something that they're going through and the pain they're going through, it just doesn't work for some reason.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah.
That's an interesting thought. I think it's beneficial a lot of times to write together in those situations because we can kind of pull it out of each other. And
You can kind of
And we
throw
can't,
ideas
we don't
back
hide
and
anything
forth,
from each other either. So there's some co-writes you get into where you don't ever go there. Like
Right.
if you're writing something that's painful to bring up, it's to get yourself in a room with your twin sister is much easier than someone you just met.
Well,
of course.
Yeah, of course.
But I mean, people do it. People do it. Like they open up in 10 minutes and they're writing hits. You know, these songs that are
Be nice, wouldn't it?
tearjerkers. Yeah. I mean, but yeah.
So I know you guys recently lost your dad, and I talked a little bit about my dad earlier. First of all, I want to say my condolences to y'all.
Thank you.
I lost my dad in 2013. It was like y'all, it was a life changer for me as well. So I know the pain associated with that. I mean, out of that experience, you guys wrote an incredible song, which unfortunately is not available yet for purchase. But they're actually going to play that song here in a second. But please tell our listeners the name of the song and exactly what it means to y'all.
Yeah, the song is called "Things I Wish He Knew," and it's ever since our dad passed away, also in 2013.
Wow.
Yeah, June.
April 1st.
July.
yeah,
I'm sorry,
yeah.
July. We have had an ever-running list of things on my computer. I know I've had a list going of some of the things that maybe I wish that he could experience here with us on this earth, even though we know he's in a better place in heaven as a believer in Christ. But there's still that longing that I think lots of people could relate to have him here. And so a lot of the things that we mentioned in the song are some of those good things or big things in our life that we wish that we could have experienced together.
And when do you plan on letting us buy this? I mean,
Gosh, yeah, we need.
That's kind of our. We plan to get in the studio, and maybe just do like a single with
right.
it.
That would be okay
same.
with me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Single.
Probably do that at the beginning of this year. Like the first
Well, I mean, I heard that song. I told you earlier off the air, but I heard that for the first time under the Derricks in Kilgore. And I mean, you guys just brought tears to my eyes with it. So I just wanted to thank you for reaching my heart with that song. It's such a powerfully driven song, and I can't wait for folks out there to hear it. But moving on, and we'll get to that song here in a minute. So the Purple Holes are hugely popular all over the country, and like we said earlier, you guys have been playing in Europe, Finland, Switzerland, all over the place. Do you feel this is in direct response or directly connected to the hard work and touring that you guys kind of accomplished over the years?
There have been connections, I would say. I think a lot of our bookings have come out of YouTube, believe it or not. And our relationship with the people overseas, they haven't like run across us at a show here in East Texas. They've seen us on the internet. And so that one thing has led to another, and it has led to tours with people that are really zealous to get our music out there, and they are up for the task of putting something together for us. So it leaves little work on our end, which is a blessing.
Yeah.
And
I think since we don't have families of our own, we're pretty much always available to go wherever somebody's asking us if we can put together a good run or tour.
And throw everything into that tiny car that you guys were talking about.
Exactly, the clown car.
I'm just glad we don't have to ride in a Prius.
With the upright bass in the backseat
I feel
of the
like that should be
Prius.
included in the interview. We'll take this video outside and show you.
So, I mean, they have an upright bass player that tours with them sometimes, too. And I mean, if you've ever seen an upright bass, it's huge. And they have this tiny little car, a little Toyota Prius. And I don't think you can see their bass player in the back when that thing's back there.
But we let them have front.
Oh, that's sweet of y'all. It really is sweet. So, I mean, what advice would you guys have for, local musicians that really want to be more of a touring act? I mean, how would they go from just being a locally based, band to a touring band? Didn't mean to make you guys think on a Sunday.
How to go from being a locally based band to a touring band? Wow, I say really get with social media. I think that would be huge. It's a free way to promote yourself,
Right.
and you don't have to pay a promoter or there's no record label that's putting money into that. And so I say take advantage of that, even if you have to hire someone to do things for you. But making videos is huge, and that way people outside of East Texas actually get to listen. If they like you, then they'll invite you out. And so I think that would be like maybe the number one thing that you could do yourself, and thankfully we have a booking agent who's helped us a whole lot. And so we just got him this summer, and it's taken a big load off of us for sure.
Yeah, like a good friend of mine that passed away this year used to say, playing the music is the easiest part.
It takes the least time.
The business side of it. Now, the big reason why this show, the ETX ROCKS Show, actually exists is because of videos. Like you were saying,
cool.
Just making videos. After the award show in 2015, the CEO of ETX Music said, we should make these little videos just, interviewing different local artists, for like, 30 seconds or 90 seconds, where are you playing or whatever. And this show actually spawned from that.
Cool.
Just because of the popularity of the videos we were putting out. Like, we'd just show up at a restaurant or a bar one night and say, hey, come on outside, let's do a promo video.
Yeah.
And now we're doing a podcast / internet show that's all over YouTube. And so, I mean, it's definitely something, like you said, that you can take social media, you can put your face and your voice out there, and you just never know what's going to happen with it. You never know who's going to listen. I mean, look, there's videos on YouTube that are tens of millions of views of someone, playing with a parrot or just silly stuff. You know what I mean? Drives me crazy when there's videos like that with no content that the whole world is watching.
You're waiting for something.
Yeah, it's like, this is it? It's an otter in a bathtub. How does this have 18 million views? Go to the zoo. So obviously, like we mentioned earlier, and as people can see out there if they're actually watching on YouTube instead of listening on Podbean, you guys are twins.
Yes.
So you guys look alike, you spend a lot of time together, you grew up on a farm together, you went to college together, you tour together, you play music together.
Oh, man.
But
put it that way.
Together.
yeah, exactly. So, I mean, do you guys find it hard to maintain an individual identity?
I'm sorry, I had to laugh. Oh, man. I think my perspective might be, different from the outside perspective on that, because to me I feel like my own person, but sometimes people see us as one,
Right.
and
But we take that into consideration when we meet people, and we don't get offended when people don't really care to call us by our name, but they would call us twin or BK. I mean, we're so used to that, and that's all great. But you know, I think this whole season of being together has been really, really wonderful, and it's something that probably many twins wish they would have had more of. We've just gotten the other end of the deal, like
Right.
you know.
And neither of you's committed a felony against the other yet, so I mean that's awesome.
I mean, we wouldn't say that. We could get away with murder. Same DNA. We could get away, yes. Same DNA. But yeah, we don't know what it's like any different. Yeah.
So I mean, would that be murder or suicide? Depends
on. It's true. Yeah.
So I mean, it's funny to watch you guys, especially as a first-time fan coming to see y'all under the derricks, kind of see you guys arguing a little bit off the mic, because you guys have one of those dynamic mics, you know, that kind of pick up everything. It tells all, yeah. So it's like, no, I want to do this song. No, we're gonna do this song. No, we'll do. So hey, everybody, you know. So it's kind of cool to see that, because that's got to be because you guys are together so much.
I'm glad you think that's cool. Yeah.
Don't worry, nobody saw
We'll
that.
have to do more of that. What we think is sly, no, it's not.
So I mean, I told you guys about rapid fire.
Yes. Yeah.
So we're gonna do rapid fire now.
Maybe we should take turns.
You guys want to take turns? You want to do the odd number questions and you do the even number?
Yeah.
All right.
Sure.
All right, so this is rapid fire, y'all, with the purple holes. This is just a fun game. 10 questions. They have 90 seconds to answer, and if they don't answer, then it's going to get 30 degrees colder in this room.
Oh man, that's torture.
All right, so this is rapid fire. Number one, who's odd again? You're
That's
odd.
you.
All right, so would you rather be the youngest sister or the oldest sister?
Twins? Of twins?
Doesn't matter.
Youngest.
Youngest.
Yeah, I could learn.
All right, would you rather sleep all day or watch TV all day?
Oh man, sleep.
Batman or Superman?
Super.
Awesome. I have Superman slippers now. I got them for my birthday. Would you rather never leave your hometown or move every 6 months?
Move every 6 months if one of those times could be my hometown.
All right, so would you rather be haunted by a spirit for the rest of your life or become a werewolf?
A spirit. Oh my goodness.
It's not your turn to answer. Sorry.
Don't influence my decision. I'd rather be a werewolf.
All right, so would you rather have a cartoon face with a human body or a human face with a cartoon body?
Cartoon body, Tasmanian devil.
All right, Bill Monroe or Bob Wills?
Oh my goodness, don't judge me, people. Bob Monroe.
That's not a real person.
Oh yeah, I mixed two together. Golly, I'm gonna have to go with Wills.
Okay.
Depends on the day.
Okay. So who is your favorite local band beside the Purple Holes?
Oh, that's gracious. Local, as in East Texas.
Yes.
You know, some of our best friends, the Katy sisters. That may not be fair, but because we played in their band for a while,
That's
but
fine.
I'd say they're one of my faves.
All right, so if you could listen to only one song for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Wow, this is not one of those pick one or the other
Nope.
questions. It's like a really brainstorming question. If I could listen to one song, it would probably be like "Great Is Thy Faithfulness" or something. So really good.
All right, you both can answer this one. If you could perform a duet with anybody, living or dead, who would it be?
So about 70 seconds on this. Okay, duet with anyone. Some of those we have to edit.
Oh, it's
the
getting
time.
colder in here.
Not worth it. Who? Living or dead? Oh man.
It can be anybody. Doesn't
Yeah,
even have to be
anybody,
a
doesn't
famous singer or anything.
Duet with. Oh man, maybe. How fun would it be to sing with like Susie Bogus? I mean, even though she's. That would be fun. Yeah. But anyone. This is such a. Every time I think of somebody, I think, oh no, there's someone even better. Or there's someone even better. Like, so that is tough. Gosh.
Susie Bogus is a good answer, by the way. I really like that answer.
It'd be fun to sing harmony with her. Yeah, or Patty Loveless or someone. I'm just. Get some good 3-part. Yeah, I'm thinking like 3-part stuff.
Right.
3-part harmony. And
All right, guys. So that was rapid fire with the Purple Holes. I don't think they made it. I think they're frostbit from head to toe. No, not really. So they don't know who they want to perform a duet with. I thought each of them would just say their sister, but
Aww, that would have been
so you guys could have been like Valentine's Day sweet, and you just blew it. So anyway, the Purple Holes are here, and we're so thankful you guys took the time to be with us today. I know you guys have a show in Carthage tonight, so to take the time out of your day and your busy schedule, we really appreciate
Thank
it.
you for having us.
And they're going to do us another song, and this is called Things I Wish My Daddy Knew.
Yeah,
Right?
things I wish you knew. Yes.
Yes. Awesome.
I remember you leaving down that dusty old driveway in the summer of 13. You'd always said that you had no doubts of where you were going, but you sure hated to leave your family. And I wish you could have seen the sky that day, just as the hearse drove you away. There was peace in the storm, smiles on our faces. We took pictures under red and orange and blue. Things I wish you knew. Things I wish my daddy knew. When they laid your body in the ground, you wouldn't believe all the people around that grave. And after lunch, your friends came out. Oh, and I could write a book with all the things they had to say of you in your younger days. I wish you could have seen the crop that year. We had record rains and the pond finally reached the pier. I miss your predictions on the forecast when a storm was rolling in. Just didn't see this one hitting us so soon. Things I wish my daddy knew. I wish you knew how mama's working hard to be strong for the family. She's still learning how to drive a tractor right without riding the clutch too tight. Your babies play the Opry in Nashville, Tennessee on the instruments she gave us. And I believe
So that is an unavailable song. I'm so sorry. But it's my favorite Purple Hole song. Of course, I have many favorites, and you guys will too. So for the folks out there that have to have your music now, since they've heard y'all sing on the show, where can they find information about y'all, both on social media? Do you have a website and stuff like that?
Yeah, it's pretty easy. Thepurpleholes.com is the website. Schedule up there. You can buy hard copies of the CDs. We have 3 CDs. Or iTunes, Amazon, anywhere digital music is sold. We are on there. We're on Instagram, Facebook.
And we have a copy of the one that has Heart to Heart on it.
Okay, yeah, is that the only one you have?
That's the only one.
Okay, I'll have to get you the others.
But we love it, and you guys signed it for us. It'll be on my wall as soon as I get shadow boxes. But it's a treasured possession.
Thank
we really
you so
appreciate
much.
that, and like I said, we're both huge fans of y'all's because of her dad. I mean, her dad is just.
Thanks, Red.
You know, and he should be here. I hope he's here by now. But again, I just want to thank you guys again for taking the time to come on the show. And I hope you guys have a great show tonight in Carthage. You're playing in the church, right?
Yeah, we're doing a Christmas show tonight.
Awesome. So you guys know Christmas songs too? You got Christmas songs ready?
We have a little bit of a set.
We've written quite a few
So
actually.
you guys are going to fake it to make it. So you guys remember out there, you guys can check them out, thepurpleholes.com. They're also on Facebook at The Purple Holes. You guys have a Twitter and all that stuff too, or is it just Facebook?
We don't have Twitter.
We actually do have
yeah.
Twitter. You just wouldn't know
That's how
because
much I know about Twitter.
we are on Twitter, not too actively involved on it, but we plan to be because that's pretty big. Instagram. We're
Yeah,
on
Instagram as well. We just started a Twitter and Instagram too because of the way things are kind of moving towards
Right.
the quick and, you know,
the
I don't like
short.
it personally.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, what? I'm out of characters? But I have so much more to say. So, but yeah, we're trying to move over that way too, but it's just so hard when you've built such a huge following on Facebook or whatever like that.
Yeah.
And people are like, well, I already like them on Facebook, so.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
That's true.
it's definitely hard. And so to let you guys know out there who may just be listening to the show or watching the show for the first time, we are on Facebook as well at ETX ROCKS. Also Twitter and Instagram like the Purple Holes. And you can find us on YouTube at the ETX ROCKS Show and Podbean, which is etxrocks.podbean.com. They also have a free app, and you can listen to the show on there as well. Just make sure you like, follow, subscribe to not only us, but also the Purple Holes. Pick up 1, 2, or 3 of their CDs. They're all incredible, if they're anything like the one we have. Once again, thank you for watching the ETX Rock Show. This is episode 74. Wow. Remember, guys, keep on supporting local music and...
ETX rocks!
Covering music-related content of all genres. If it filters through Eastern Texas, it's fair game. Y'all bring it. From Texarkana down to the coast and Dallas down to Houston and everything in between, we are ETX Rocks!